Now from CTV10, it's the Phil Knight Show. Winner of the Reader's Choice Awards #1 TV personality and #1 radio personality. Opinions, discussions, debate. It's all here on the Phil Knight Show.
Now, this hour is rebroadcast at 5 and 11 on CTV10. And as part of Heart Month in February, and the Heart Ball coming up, we have Rip Taggart on set with us this morning, who's a volunteer for the Heart Association here, and really a worker bee behind the Heart Ball. And we have Ericka Howard-Foskey on set with us, one of the great stories, and you're featured in the Sun Journal this morning, and a survivor, and it's great, and you also, you look great.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
How are
you too.
You?
Great.
Okay, good. It's good to see you. Yeah, and we've got some questions for you. I mean, nothing out of the box here, but Rip probably will be doing a good share of it because he writes the articles on these things. But Rip, go ahead and talk about the Heart Ball first, please, and then let's really talk to Ericka when our radio gets here in about 2 minutes. So go ahead.
Terrific. Phil, we're having our 19th annual Heart Ball. This year it's at the History Center.
Yeah.
For the first time, we're excited about that, and our goal this year is to provide more than $80,000 to the Heart Association to fund research and programs.
That's
and
local.
the kind of, yeah, that's locally. We made a huge contribution last year, biggest ever, and we're just trying to match it this year. And with terrific sponsors and great guests, why we think we'll be able to do that.
And some of the folks whom you've been writing about on Thursdays in the Sun Journal will be there, including Ericka, right?
They will all be there sharing their stories.
Meet and greet and sharing the stories.
Absolutely.
And it'll be
Absolutely.
an emotional evening, but a good emotional evening, I would say. Tickets still available? How do they get them?
Seating is limited.
Sure.
Again, at the History Center, there are some tickets still available. You can find them online at newbernheartball.org or call the Heart Association, and we'd love to have you there.
I was there for a St. Paul Catholic School function. Joan and I were Saturday night at the History Center. That's a great venue. I mean, we're so fortunate to have it here, and I'm so happy it's being used.
Well, we're glad to add one more super event to what they do at the History Center.
And quickly, a couple of these 3 of your sponsors that you might want to highlight, or anybody on
the Carolina East,
yeah.
a major sponsor.
Good.
And then we've got, some great auction items there as well.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Morgan's providing a shrimp boil for 50 people at your house, Phil. We can fix you up.
That's one of the auctions. Huh?
Absolutely.
I don't have 50 friends, in case you haven't noticed.
We'll put out a request online.
Yeah, well, I don't know how that will work, but I'll get my grandchildren there, and they'd make those shrimp go away just like that, guaranteed. So anyway, I want to welcome our radio station back with us here in just a few seconds, because Ericka Howard-Foskey has an unbelievable story that's emotional in the best sense. The Phil Knight Show, 94.1 WNBU is with us, and it's Heart Month, and the Heart Ball is coming up in the New Bern area. And we have Rip Taggart on set with us this morning. And Rip has been writing a series of stories on Thursdays in the Sun Journal, the local paper, about uplifting stories for Heart Month, about folks who've been afflicted with heart disease but have come out of it and are bigger and better than ever. I mean, better than ever. And Ericka Howard-Foskey is the story today. And Ericka, you look great. I mean, you're a beautiful lady, if I can say that, and please take no offense, but you're just a beautiful lady. It's a pleasure to have you here. Rip, go ahead with the story with Ericka and ask some questions, because this started with something else that led to a heart issue then, right?
Well, absolutely. There've been some great stories this month, and Ericka's, to me, is the most amazing. And Ericka?
Most amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
I think so. I think so. Ericka, how did you find out about it? What happened? How did you get started with that situation?
Actually, in October of 2011, I was diagnosed with a PML leukemia, which is a very rare type of leukemia. It accounts for 2% of all of AML.
2%, and you were diagnosed with it.
2%, lucky me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through chemotherapy. I didn't have to do radiation or surgery, anything like that. But the majority of my chemotherapy was with a treatment called arsenic trioxide, which is exactly what it says.
Arsenic-based chemotherapy?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's pretty much pure arsenic. So for 6 hours a day, I was hooked up to an IV, and they ran pure arsenic. And it works great. It's a 98% cure rate.
When was it? This was October of 2011?
October of 2011.
Okay, so you're doing the treatment for this very rare form of leukemia.
Yes.
Arsenic-based. 6 hours a day, you said?
Yes.
How many days a week?
I did it for a total of 12 weeks. So I had 2-week breaks in the middle of that, but every day they'd hook me up and do that.
That's a good story on that, but then what happened? This led to other issues then.
Yes. I finished with chemotherapy in March, and then in May, my husband and I...
March of 2012?
Yes, March of 2012.
Okay, go ahead.
And my husband and I were rehearsing or getting ready for the MS 150 ride. So we had bought beautiful bikes, and we actually had one bike that was donated to me, and then my husband bought a bike.
So you're ready to bike ride?
Yep, we're out bike riding, and I just fell over. And one of the neighbors called 911. We were only about 4 blocks into the ride, so my husband thought maybe I had a seizure or something like that. EMS arrived maybe about 4 minutes later. And
this is less than a year ago?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
They transferred me to Craven. Craven kind of took a look at me and said, well, this isn't a seizure, but we're not sure what's going on. It's something wrong with her heart. Her heart actually stopped beating. So they wound up flying me to Vidant Medical Center. They airlifted me because they weren't real sure what to do. Okay. I got there. They put my body in a coma. They lowered my body temperature so that I wouldn't wake up, wouldn't have a lot of brain swelling, so they could figure out
Did they know what it was
on.
yet, Ericka, or not?
They didn't. It took them about a day and a half to figure out what had happened. And so now what the assumption is that because of the arsenic that I was treated with, it caused a very rare arrhythmia in my heart, which actually stopped my heart from beating.
Whoa, it stopped your heart.
So, yep, it actually stopped my heart. So they decided to bring me out of the coma and put in a defibrillator, which is an onboard shocking machine, pretty much.
On board, yeah. You've got a great sense of humor, too, man. You've got to love this lady, I'll tell you.
So, you know, life getting used to that was very difficult.
Well, tell us, so you're out of that now, and can you bike ride now? Are you going to be doing this stuff, or you don't know yet?
I can. I've slowly started to get back into it. My cardiologist at Vidant did allow me to go to cardiac rehab. I requested that because I was afraid to get back on my bike. I was afraid to go running. I was afraid to do anything. So Mike and the other gals there at the cardio center allowed me to push myself while I was still hooked up. Some days I push the limits more than others.
Don't do it.
But they were like, well, if it's going to happen, we'd rather it happen here where we can see it.
Got it, yeah.
So slowly I've been kind of getting back into things.
When you went in March of 2012 with the heart issue, when did you get out then, Ericka?
I went in May of 2012.
I'm sorry, May.
May 31st or something like that. I was there for about a week, a little over a week.
And so you've been back home since then?
Yes.
All right. Now you mentioned, what is the onboard defibrillator? What is that?
It kind of reminds me. I was telling Rip. It kind of reminds me of Iron Man. It's about this size, and it looks like an Iron Man device underneath my skin. And if my heart were to go into an arrhythmia or it were to stop, it'd be just like someone having an external defibrillator. My body would actually jolt, and electricity would go through, and it would start my heart back up. It has happened once in October.
God, you have a great story. Oh,
I was at a wedding, and we were walking up the aisle. I wasn't in the wedding, but we were going to be seated, and I didn't feel it coming. Everything got white, and then boom. And I kind of looked around. I said, I think I just got shocked. And all I kept saying to myself was, Lord, please don't let me ruin my cousin's day. It was her day to be beautiful. And so it was scary, very scary.
And this came about, and Rip, jump in again, but this came about because of your treatment for leukemia, and you really had not had heart issues. And you're a young lady.
No.
I mean, you'd not had heart issues.
I had not had any issues prior to leukemia. I spent 9 years in the military. I was the picture of health. I exercised.
Yeah.
I eat relatively well, and I have 2 young children, so they keep me very active.
What do you do now? Do you work outside the home now or not?
I don't. I volunteer a lot at the schools, Brinson Memorial, H.J. McDonald, wherever my children need me. I do some volunteering with Relay for Life as well. I'm on maintenance therapy for the leukemia, so some days I can't stay awake as long as I would like to actually have a full-time job.
And what is the prognosis on your heart? Will you always have the shock thing?
They're saying that once they put ICDs in, they very rarely take them out, not just because it's invasive, but because if your heart has ever stopped before, it's possible that it happened again, and if no one gets there in the first 3 minutes, you wouldn't make it. So they figure better safe than sorry. Go ahead and put it in. If you need it, fine. If you don't, then you don't have to use it.
Rip Taggart, how did you get to be writing stories about this? I mean, these are all just amazing stories, and this could be the most amazing, actually, Ericka, lucky you, but I mean, this is just, no, it's just in such a wonderful way, but you just have such a great spirit. So
Well,
how did you get to
Phil,
write these stories?
it's been a terrific project. We got involved, my wife and I got involved 2 years ago when some other members of the community in the Heart Society asked us to get on board. We have our own story from the heart. We were in Houston, and our daughters, twin daughters, were born prematurely in 1984. We were lucky that they had neonatal there, relatively new in the 80s, and they both survived. 2 years later, Elizabeth, we find, she has a PDA, which means that a vein is open in her heart because she was born prematurely. And usually, to correct that, if you don't correct it, it can lead to heart failure and death. They were able, rather than doing open heart surgery, they used a catheter to insert a small device into that vein. It popped open.
This would have been in the late 80s then,
No,
at this point?
This was 1986. She was actually the youngest, the 200th case ever, and the youngest patient ever at that time to have that
How is she
procedure
now?
done. She's running marathons in Chicago.
Really?
30 years later. So my wife, Debbie, and I are we're so grateful to the Heart Association, to medical research for
the advancements are so stunning, not only with heart, but with other issues. The advancements, it's stunning, isn't it?
It is
I mean,
amazing.
it doesn't make it any easier, but
Right.
I'm just saying, isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's just, that's what we didn't realize till we got involved, the local impact that the Heart Association has had here in lives like Ericka's, and then the funding that they provide for research and for programs, assisting great hospitals like Carolina East to provide the kind of care that they do.
Yes, and you're back on your bike, you said, Ericka?
Not
Off and on?
really, yeah. I'm running and doing a lot of speed walking.
Good.
I've swam a couple of times.
Have you? Yeah.
I have.
Sure.
To kind of easing back into it.
Good. Well, it's a joy to speak with you. So
Thank you very much.
It's obvious. If you can't see my face, it's obvious, folks, let me tell you.
Phil, I'll tell you, we do have Ericka and her husband, Fennell, sat down with me a couple of weeks ago. We taped an interview that I based the article on. I'll send a link on that video so Bob can put it up on your Facebook page.
Good, excellent.
We really appreciate all the local stories that you provide every day for the community.
This is fun, thank you. And very quickly, before I let you go, Rip, the Heart Ball, when, where, and online tickets, please.
It is this Saturday, the History Center.
Yep.
It starts at 6 o'clock. Tickets are $100 each, and there are a few more available.
More than worth it, by the way. Yes.
Well, most of that goes to help fund research like that. They're available online at newbernheartball.org. Ericka will be there. Our other heart stories will be there, and we would love to see other people join us.
It's worth $100 to not even eat, but to meet Ericka. I got to tell you.
Amen.
I mean, what a smile, man. What a smile. I love it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rip Taggart, thanks for working with me and setting this up. I'm glad you would include me in this. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we'll be talking with you. Knowing you, we'll be talking because, boy, he's got something on his mind, Ericka. He's going to get this thing going in the best sense. I love it. But also, Ericka Howard-Foskey, thank you so much for being with us.
You're very welcome.
Great story.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys may leave. I appreciate it. You guys can't leave, all right, because I'm coming back. All right.